Hello there, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the Retroid Pocket 2. I really wanted to see how it stands up against all the other handhelds out there. As most of these handhelds are only really good at playing 16-bit games, they really struggle to play them at full speed. Over the years I've owned quite a few emulation consoles. I'm going to talk about them a little bit and show some of the Retroid in action. Now, I have been wanting to do more synth-based videos and stuff like that. I just haven't been able to get hold of what I've been looking for. I bought the Behringer Cat on Amazon. It's been out of stock since they went into super partnership or whatever they call it. Now, it might be because of the COVID, I don't know. But this is really getting on my nerves waiting for stuff at this point. Now, it hasn't all been doom and gloom. I did find some nerds for sale, which I have not seen in the UK for like 20 years. So that was kind of a turn up for the books there. Blast from the past, excellent. And they are delicious. Now back to the handhelds. I got this one back in 2005. It's the GP2X. It was good for its time. The emulators were in their infancy back then. A lot of the emulators that ended up on the PSP were first made for this console. The only downsides was it had a terrible joystick. It was digital, not analog. And it burned through batteries, which made the playtime pretty terrible. It also struggled to run a lot of games at full speed. It was very much the Ed Wood of handhelds. They did release a newer version, which had a D-pad and a touchscreen. And there were also mods to add a D-pad to the original. Then came the Dingu A320 in 2009. This console was a lot smaller than the GP2X, but it suffered similar problems with battery life. The OS it ran was not very stable on mine at all. It was possible to dual boot into another OS called Dingux, but this also had similar issues. I think my handheld might have been a dud. The GP2X was still my go-to emulation machine. Fast forward to 2019, and I had all but given up on handheld emulation. Retroflag released the G-Pi case, which takes a Raspberry Pi Zero and gives it controls and a screen. It runs on free AA batteries. The only issue was you had to tunnel into the console using putty to make it so these controls and screen worked. Once that was done, you could run RetroPie. Again, I had problems. Mine would get very hot. It would randomly reset itself, and the emulation speed was not as good as I imagined it would be. Still no full-speed SNES. Then we come to the Retroid. This thing dominates 16-bit games. I have not had many issues at all running Genesis, SNES, or MAME. The biggest issue was scanning the games into RetroArch.
Well, we're waiting.
This can take quite some time, and for bigger game packs it can be an issue if your files are not named correctly. Looking at the system specs, it's clear to see that this console is far ahead of anything that came before. Only the JXD 5800 gaming phone comes close, but that was crippled by its old Android firmware and lack of support. And whilst it looks good on paper, it tried to be a jack of all trades and didn't do any of its functions very well at all. Now let's check out some gameplay. The Retroid has a headphone jack that I'm recording audio from.
The stage is set. The green flag drops. to first. Rip fades into last. Snake is dominating the race. Viper fades into last. Viper was lost out there. Snake powers up. Rip is about to blow. Shred fades into last. Snake is dominating the race. Last lap. Viper fades into last. Viper is about to blow. Viper fades into last. Snake scores a first place knockout. Viper finishes second. Rip will reach third.
So there you go. That's the Retroid Pocket 2. Most of the 16-bit stuff works fine. A few glitches here and there, but most of them are down to the emulators. I had trouble with the Mupen emulator for N64, and I had a lot of frame drops. I've not touched any settings on the emulators to try and get them to run better, but for what it is, and what it can do, I'm quite happy with it. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you could like and subscribe, it would be much appreciated. All my links are down below, including my Discord. Peace out and catch you next time.